Hello, everyone. I hope traders were green Friday, and I hope investors are well hedged for this pullback. I normally like to do this video in pre-market to give everybody some ideas, some early uh, ideas as before we get into open. And I usually do them pretty early, so there's a lot happening afterwards. But I'm live in a Discord to let everybody know what's happened after the video. So we did add a few charts, but I want to do this video early so everybody gets a look at where our put to call ratios are, what our oscillators are telling us, some of these other signals that we use like the VIX and the dollar, just to give everybody an idea, let everybody know where everything's at. I do want to mention that this week's just not an ordinary week. We have the Fed meeting. With that Fed meeting at 2 Wednesday, we'll have Powell has his press conference. That moves the market depending on the questions he asked him, how he answers them. We also have OPEC week. So in a normal OPEC week, we're bearish in the beginning. We turn more bullish towards the end. So just keep those things in mind. Of course, we'll be talking about them in a Discord. This is AMC. We were bearish on AMC. We did get this trend break here. So we caught this play that day. It did push up the next day, and it's been selling off ever since. Pushed up a little bit here, coming back down. So right now we're back below the 20. Looking for a pullback. The only thing that worries me is sometimes when the market's pulling back like it is, they will come after these meme stocks. So this could turn bullish at any minute, just with some crazy pop. But as long as we're below this 20, we're looking for puts. This is Brent. This is a crude chart that I added just for this video. So we're going to see some of our energy names are pulling back. Maybe some of those names just need to take a break. The market's pretty confused right now, but I just wanted to point out that crude is holding in well, still holding the 9. Nice spinning top candle there. Of course, we could go either way with it, but just wanted to show everybody that crude is holding in. We look at a couple of different crude charts. This is the put to call ratio. So you can see we turned extremely. This is where we were, coming into market open Friday. We have turned back into the extremely bearish range. Remember, this is what COVID looked like. So we're deep right now, and that's just telling us that the big money has hedged their positions. So this is the McLaren oscillator for the New York Stock Exchange, and you can see that we, Friday we were back here at market open. We pulled clean past the zero. We're actually in the negative, still in the neutral zone, but it will not be long pulling back like this. We will be in the oversold zone. The same for the New York Stock Exchange. It was cooler up here, so now it's pulled back farther. So it's actually a little hotter than the NASDAQ right now. Remember, we get to this 200, we are starting to get extremely oversold. So we're working our way that way, as we speak. See what the market brings Monday. The US dollar, we actually added this line to do the video Friday, and for this would be a resistance pushing up. It cut right through it. We talked about how bullish this chart looked. It was one of the better looking charts that's out there. And when the dollar is pushing, it makes it really hard on assets in the market. It has to do with trade. It's a little complicated. It's not really that complicated. If you're trading oil, another country is buying oil from you with the US dollar, which is what things are traded with around the world. The dollar's high, it actually costs more to purchase that oil. The VIX, we were bearish until we got the signal Friday and pushed up. We were looking at, or got the signal Thursday and pushed up Friday morning. We said if we took this 50 out, buy calls. We took the 50 to 20 out, pushed up. UVXY calls would have paid nicely. Gold, we added this chart. As always, we're trying to follow the trends and looking for rotations. Not really seeing any clear signals. I mean, we had some value stocks like Walmart push, MO, but still a lot of those stocks didn't get a lot of attention. So there wasn't a lot of money that flowed into them. Gold did push. We've seen some pre-market Found some dark pool levels or orders, prints in pre-market. So that put gold, on our radar. And gold, just wanted to point out that gold did push. Apple, big gap down. Going to see a lot of that in these charts. Just following the market. Avi, we were bearish on Avi anyway. Pulled back nicely on Friday, which we're looking, that's one that we're looking for, watching for it to pull back. Avi's daily chart, we said Friday or Thursday that this was probably the higher, or I'm sorry, the lower high that just put in following the price waves. So you have a high, and we said Friday morning or Thursday morning that this would probably be the high. Pull back Thursday, pull back again Friday. We are now below the support, which becomes resistance. See if we can hold it down there, then maybe we can get some more put action on it. AMD, you can see AMD pushed up, but looks an awful lot like a bear flag, and we're taking that out to the downside now. MACD's rolling over. This is the weekly chart of AMD. We added it just to point out the weekly action looks like a bear flag, and we lost the 9, we lost the 20. Actually looks like we're sitting right on the 20, so we need to look for that Monday morning. If we lose that level, then go, look for puts. Affirm, we've been bearish on Affirm. We found this diamond last week, looking for a move down. We got it Thursday, drew the diamond for Thursday morning's video, got to pull down Thursday, pulling back Friday. Downtrend, was unable to take the downtrend out. So we were expecting it to pull back anyway. Then it formed a diamond pattern. And this is Affirm's 15-minute chart. You can see it's been steady downtrending. So Friday, we can't take out this resistance level. We're bearish on the stock. We have to take out that level right there, which looks like Friday's high. We can't take that out. We're bearish on the stock. AMC's 15-minute chart. See, it's going into this little downtrend here. You can draw that line. If it respects that line, puts. Watch for, if you take puts on that, watch for Friday's low for support. AMD's 15-minute chart, you can see, tried to push, rated open, and then just snatched back. I actually took a L right there. Was showing relative strength, and we got into this 50 and just couldn't hold it, so it took a small loss there. You can see this pullback. There's your low of the day right there. So that's the level to watch for support. If we pull back, if we try to push up, watch your 50 for resistance first, your high of the day here, and then your first resistance level would be the 95-ish area. That's actually a big area. So as long as we're below 95, we are looking short. The 95 is a huge area for AMD. Amazon, that day the split was, we seen this candle. The next morning, we said in the video, this was a very bearish reversal pattern. And so we're just getting the downside that we were already expecting on that. Found some dark pools. Friday morning as well. Apple, big pullback here. You see where it's putting in a base down here. So that's what you're looking for. You can see how it based here. Pre-market, it's laying right on top of that area. If we take that area out, we're looking for more downside, to the upside. Your 50's right there. Of course, you got to take your 20, your 9 and 20 out first, but your 50's right there. So as long as we're under this 50, we're watching the stock with a bearish mindset. Boeing, honestly, we were expecting this to be a short play anyway. Boeing never seems to hold its pops, and it broke out of this descending channel, held it a little bit, waited on the 20, pushed up there, based waiting on the 9, and we were saying that Boeing never holds its pops. You can see the MACD's rolling over now. Price action's rolled over. As long as we're below this 20, we're bearish. We could push back up. If we do, I would, watch the 20 here for resistance level. I'm sorry, watch the 9 for your first resistance level if we do push up. But as long as we're below that 20, looking at the stock with a bearish mindset. Boeing, you can see how it's just been in a downtrend here, and we're below a resistance level right now. So that level right there, as long as we're below that level, we're looking for, looking at the stock with a bearish mindset. 50 coming down, that 50 will be below when we open up Monday. This 50 will be below the high of the day. That's what we're looking for. The levels we're looking for would be the high of the day to be bullish, and we're looking for this area right here to actually act as resistance and pull back. Cliff, we're going to take some of these lines off now that we've moved, probably clear the chart and restart it. Big pull down. I didn't even put any price tags down here because, like I say, I should have already cleared this chart to start putting more lines. It's just getting too messy. But same as everything else, we take the low of the day out. We're looking with a bearish mindset. If we push up, I would at least want to get above this level right here to take more than a scalp. I wouldn't mind scalping it, or if I was able to monitor the trade, get in and be very careful when you get up to this area right here. Your 50 is your, I really would like to be above that 50 before I would go in bullish. That's Cliff's daily chart. You can see we're below a major resistance level now. Chevron pulling back, still holding the 20, but it's pulled back a little bit. But as we just seen, exactly if you look across here, you can see a support level. As you just seen, the crude chart still holding in. So they could just be taking profits on some of these stronger names that they, Exxon, some of these names that they really ran. You can see this is the Chevron's 15-minute chart. Just been in a steady downtrend, pretty much the same setup. You can see we have a level here. Look at these candles as well. I would like to be above these candles right here before I would even think about being bullish. And if I did take the trade there, I'd be looking, this would be my next level. Have to get above this 50 to be bullish. Watched for the low of the day for support. So if you took a trade here, you would want to watch your low of the day as you were pulling back for a support level. It would be a safer trade, a more conservative trade, to wait to get below the low of the day to go in for puts. ExxonMobil, still not a bad chart. Actually, the other chart's at the very end. ExxonMobil is holding in very, pretty well considering with the market environment. You see, we have pulled back a little bit the last 2 days. This thing was hitting a new high every day. Last week was doing the same thing. It's just been a very, very strong stock, and it needs a break. Market conditions or not, it needs a break. It needs to pull back a little bit. So same thing, get below the low of the day. We're bearish on the stock. Watch this 50 to the upside. You can see a level right here with these candles. I would draw a line right there. If you were to take an entry here below this 50, be careful. Keep in mind your 50's there. You would have to be prepared to take profits at that level if you see starting to see a reversal or a reaction. GME, got this flag, got a pop out of it. Never really formed for us. So right now we're back below. I hate it when we are wedged in between two moving averages that tight. Just not enough room there for me to trade it. It needs to get below or above one of those levels before I'm interested in trading it. You got to have room to make money in your stock. Got to have room to move. You can see we're right back to a resistance level here. Tested it, got rejected. So we need to be above Friday's high to go in with calls. You have room to trade here to the downside. If you get below your 20 and your 9, stay below that. You can take a trade to the downside. Just watch Friday's low for could be a possible support level. You want to be prepared at that level to take profits if you have to. we don't let them turn to losers. Taking profits and then watching it move is better than, not taking profits and watching it turn to a loser. Halliburton, you see Halliburton's, we started to get the breakout, starting to push. Thursday and Friday come, just bearish days. We pull back to the 9 here. The Qs just rolled over. This same, basically all, all indices pretty well. The SPY and the Qs pretty much look the same. You see the MACD's rolling over here. Price action gap down. Pretty ugly, honestly. Right down here to a support level. Below that level, we're looking for puts. The market pulls below that level Monday morning. At market open, we're going in with puts. Watching the 50 to the upside. Bonds, we've been bearish on bonds. If you would have opened puts here, and we said that we're bearish on bonds, would have printed. The meeting Wednesday, so that's going to have not only the basis point hike, but them talking about the book and how much the amount of bonds they plan on letting go for the following month can have a lot to do with the bond market, and will move the bond market and will also move the stock market. You can see the IWM trading in a bear flag here. Last bear flag we got, which provided some nice opportunities. We ended up pulling back for a few days. Get around the low of these flags. A lot of times you can find some support. You can see we dipped below it and end up ripping back up. So I'm expecting this to come down. As long as the market agrees, we can come down, at least to the bottom of this flag. Watch your, this is the daily. Watch your MACDs turning bearish. We definitely want to start going into more on how to use the MACD properly. A lot of people they actually don't understand how much power is in the MACD and in the histogram. You can see IWM 15-minute chart. We did break below this level here, which was support. So we broke below it, got back above it. I would like to take that level out before I would even think about entering puts. But then if I do get in there, I will be ready to scalp, because the low, Friday's low, you may find support there. For the upside, watch the 50. You can see how the 50 is letting you know that there's a level right here, right where we had pushed up and got rejected. You can almost see a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder, and it's really hard to tell with this chart whether the volume characteristics meet. But you do have a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder there. And pre-market's just trading sideways. If you were to turn pre-market off, see what this looks like on Monday. I'm bearish on the market, pattern or not. Right now, I'm looking at the market with a bearish mindset. MRL below a major level here. As long as we're below this level, we're looking for short action. Watch Friday's low for support. We could get a reaction. So if you enter puts Friday morning or Monday morning, we could push down and find support at Friday morning's level. We could get a reaction there. It's just a good level to know if you're trying to trade it. It's a good area of interest to have a line at, to make sure you clear it. Because like I say, we could get a reaction there, and then the next thing you know, the stock turn, your asset turn, and you go from a winning trade to a losing trade. Facebook, which is now Meta, we were bearish on this due to just being under this trend line. We did try to push up Wednesday, Thursday down, Friday down, following the market too. So it's really hard to take credit when you were already bearish. But these are the reasons why we were already bearish: was the market conditions, the environment of the economy, the gas, our gas station and grocery stores. But just being under that downtrend and not being able to break that downtrend. This is the 15-minute chart. Same thing, if we lose Friday's low, we're looking for calls or puts. If we get a bounce at Friday's low, then, maybe there's an area to play for calls there. But if you do go in for calls, say we do get a trend break there and we get the classic setup, then maybe we can push, but you want to watch your 50 to the upside. Microsoft, we found over $1 billion in dark pool activity, and we talked about this Thursday morning. So that had a big influence to us being short on the market. Friday, it helped us in decision making. So we were already expecting pullbacks at open, and we definitely got them. Can't find my exact numbers. I believe it was 1,032 million in dark pools, right around that number. I can't find it in my notes for the exact number, but that's right about what we had. So with this and some dark pools on Apple, give us a bearish mindset for tech, plus the CPI data come out, but we were already viewing them as bearish. MRO pulling back under the 9 now. Watch the 20 for support. Your MACD's trying to roll here, so we could definitely get a push here. Or, I'm sorry, a pullback here. But if we touch that 20, we may get a bounce off from it. Crude still looks good. Let's see what crude's doing Monday morning. Oxy, that's another one we need to clear some lines off here. I'm just getting a little too messy. I like to try to keep it with just the lines we're worried about now. Once again, you can see a little shoulder, head, just a rough shoulder. That's not perfect. And definitely, please don't buy calls there just because, there's a rough pattern there. That's nowhere near as nice as the IWM, actually. If we take out Friday's low, we're short. Look at the 50 here. Try to test the 50, rejection. So if we can't take this 50 out, we're looking at Oxy at a bearish mindset. And Oxy is one of my favorite stocks to trade. We've been on it since, I've been trading it longer, but we've been on it since November, since day one of the Discord. It's one of the first stocks we talked about. You can see this is Oxy daily. We did break this trend to the downside. Watch the 50 here for support. Could touch that 50 and bounce. CRM, this flag's breaking down. We'll probably pull this one off the list. Not sure. Any opinions? Just let me know. Down below the 9 and the 50 here. The 50's running through here. Watch your 20 for support. If we can't hold this, watch your 20 for support. We've already closed below it. See what happened in after hours. 15. So we're just about the low of the day right now. So we take out the low of the day, Friday's low of the day. We're looking at a bearish mindset. You can see we have a prior support level over here, or I should say now it's resistance. The prior level of resistance above us, which is right where your 50 is. So we're below that 50. We got to look at CRM, Salesforce, with a bearish mindset. SoFi. Unfortunately, we're looking at SoFi. It's in a downtrend. It takes out Friday's low. Puts, take the 50 out to the upside. We can consider, if the momentum's there, we can consider calls. Friday's low, go in with puts. SoFi, you can see we were looking at it in a bearish mindset because it never took this downtrend out when it did push. And you can see it been losing the moving averages. Tested the 50, couldn't take the 50 out. Got back below the 9 here, below the 20 now. It's even outside of the Bollinger Bands. So I would be careful. I could, depending on where that Bollinger Band opens up Monday, I would definitely expect it to possibly pull up a little bit to get back in that band. All right, this is the SPY weekly chart. So this 387-ish level I have marked here, that's just the top of this candle. I would watch from 386 to 388. You can find a support zone in there. We can't hold that. Keep your eye around the 376-ish area. We can't hold that. Watch for the 363 and so on. I would hate to come down to 340, but that is where the 200 is right now. Of course, the 200 is going to continue to rise, and every day, or should say every week, the 200 will rise up a little bit. So if we chop around and ease down, hopefully we don't slam down. They have been, so far, they have continued to do this controlled sell-off. It's not a COVID type sell. It's a slow and steady controlled sell-off. And some people in Discord, they have asked me why. Well, it's pretty simple, because they still want to make money. They want to be able to clear their assets, move their assets out, and still make money while they're doing it. They're not trying to just sell the market. They're trying to, like, this is COVID. That's what COVID looked like. They just sold the market. This is a steady and controlled, a lot of times it's on low volume, sell-off. Volume has increased here recently since we started pulling back. So we have had some heavier volume on some days, but this is COVID type volume. So there is a difference. So this is the SPY daily chart. MACD's rolling over. You see the big gap down, lost to 20, lost to 9, lost to 20, big gap down. Had some bearish volume. We did have a decent amount of bearish volume on Friday. Keep in mind, Thursday and Friday, we closed with two big MOCs that were over 5 billion for the 2 days. One day was over 3, the next day was over 2. That puts us over 5 billion has left the market. And from the big guys have pulled that much out of the market in 2 days. So SPY, we get below Friday's low. We are looking for puts. We will be watching the SPY very closely and calling the fib levels as the action happens. Tesla. All right, so Tesla will be on my radar. It has been on my radar for about a week now. Have been doing trades on it. Actually got some compliments in another group. I was just giving some advice, and out of nowhere got some compliments on one of Friday's trades, which was pretty awesome. That people are just seeing people are following it, and people are able to make money on those trades is really awesome. So you can see we dropped below the 9 and 20 Friday. In this normal market environment, I would suggest that Tesla's going to pull back. Not really sure what Tesla's going to do with after this split announcement, and the news is out. So, and you can see we did push here Friday afternoon. So people were buying. We come up to the top of the Bollinger Band. People did come in and start buying. You can see this initial spike. So this is going to be one that we're going to have to wait, Thursday morning, see what the money looks like coming into it, see what the volume looks like coming into it, see if we can find any dark pool orders or anything coming into it, see what the option flow tells us once we start, once the market opens, see what the flow tells us. This is one we're just going to have to seriously play the action on, and we'll be watching it close. UNG, natural gas, you see it even pulled back Friday. Had this big sell-off that we, are squawked. Freeport fire helped us catch. So congratulations, Joe, on catching some of that. So we come back to support Friday, pushed up to a resistance level, took this level out like it was nothing, but we did catch support here, went back and tested this, pulled back. So it's hanging out with this center level that it took out. So above this, look for calls. Above this level right here, look for calls. If we can't take that out, then we're short on natural gas. Or UNG, you can play LNG as well. Upstart, we pointed this out, that this was a possible double top coming in, that it most likely was not going to push up. And puts on this have printed nicely last week. We started pointing this out Sunday's video. All 5 days, puts would have printed nicely. Proper strikes if you're going to try to swing this stuff. Upstart, you can see the move down, bearish below that 50. Watch the low of Friday if you were to take a trade on that for possible support. Wells Fargo, big pullback on it. MACD turning bearish. Big pullback. Watch these levels down here. That's your low right there. And looks like we're, your market low. And we've already pulled below that, looks like, in after hours. See where we go Monday. Look at the MACD trying to push. MACD steady trying to push. price action steady pushing down. Not a, yeah, I can see a little bit of a divergence in the histogram. We want to do a better job explaining the histogram and the MACD and how to use it, how to get better information from it. You see, this is M's 15-minute chart. This thing, we were looking at this with a bullish mindset. We were hoping that it was going to take this level out here and end up getting rejected. And this rejection started Wednesday, not Thursday. It started Wednesday. But the one thing that you can see is Friday, when the rest of the market was pulling back, they come after this. They ended up, the bulls won the battle at the end of the day, but the Bears won the battle at the end of the day, but the bulls did come in and push the price action up. The Bears were able to bring it back down for now, but that's just a sign right there that they were interested into it. Got nice volume on Friday. It's worth keeping an eye on. Below, let's go back to the 15-minute chart. As long as we're staying below these levels down here, this little dotted line right here, draw a line from where it flagged up and seen a reversal right there. As long as you're below that level, look at it with a bearish mindset. Watch Friday's low to see if it would, possibly see support there. Well, that's it for this video. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Hope to see you in the trading room on Monday morning. Please hit the like button and subscribe.